How an almost forgotten paint residue on the gel plate can turn into a city landscape like this. That's what you can see me doing today. Hello jelly fans! I almost forgot about the paint residue on the gel plate I had produced in another video just by brayering off the paint off my brayer. I wanted to swipe that off, but somehow got caught in the arrangement of the various colors and paint types that was produced so very randomly. So I decided to pick this up with a transparent gold medium by Liquitex. You've seen me use that before. Sorry I didn't film it because I didn't think this would become a video. Anyway, this is what it looks like now. The paper had buckled quite a bit after that. Man, why do I always forget to get a sturdier paper? Probably because I want to show you what not to do. I'm such a pro. So I grabbed my heat-resistant foil that I use with my iron and roll over it a couple of times. It's important to turn the print face down, as there is still some residue of when I ironed the Tyvek and the plastic bags. Here is a link to these two videos. And I'm still not satisfied with the buckling, so I spray on some water and iron it again. I had recently purchased quite a few stencils. Some of them I presented in the last video, and this one with skyscrapers seemed like a good idea that would go with this roughly sketched landscape. So I'm trying to register the right position here, and it's quite amazing how the golden almost white parts go with these skyscrapers. I'm using a distress oxide pad and stamp it on with my little foamy stamp thingies. You can of course use any other color, especially acrylics if you like, but I wanted the black to be a little more subtle and a little lighter. I didn't want it so dark. Actually now I changed from the little foamy thingies to real brushes. These are initially for makeup and they're perfect for going through stencils because they're very small. These are very cheap stencils. Actually, that's why I bought them. And they're disrupted in some places, so I have to hold it down sometimes to keep the shape. I have a quick look and it's like I wanted it to be. And then I'm trying the foamy thingies again. And I check it. And really it doesn't work that well. So I'm going back to that brush. I like that stencil a lot, basically because it shows only the windows or the reflecting sides and not the shapes of the skyscrapers themselves. I'm inventing some outline for them later, but a subtle one. And the reveal. Oh, that's always so exciting. Yes, it's just how I wanted it to be. But the stencil is a little too small, so I have to add some more buildings on the right side. And I take another one of those skyscraper stencils. That was actually what I bought, was a set of 4. And they're all great. Putting some tape here so that I don't accidentally go to the left side more. If you were to be on the real safe side, you can of course also use colored pencils for this. Takes a lot longer, I would say, but you have more control. You can erase it if you don't like something. But I'm daring today. The outcome's perfect. Showing you the cleaning in between because people always ask me about this. And the best is just to use a baby wipe. Well, first I thought I could leave it like this. It's already interesting, I think. And I like it that the contrast is not so high. It's a little bit spacey, transparently spacey. But then I decided I want some outlines of the buildings, but I'm not just drawing them as I'm doing here. Wait till you see what I'm doing with that. The pen is to draw some outlines for me in all the colored areas except for the white ones, because they are going to be clouds. So you can see I erase in the white parts here. And then also I'm not letting these outlines stand there, but I'm just making the area around them darker. And that's basically like here, drawing the outline, then making the background a little darker, like on the left here. And then afterwards erasing the lines that are maybe too dark. So the outlines get defined by the background and also merge into the buildings, which I think is a very interesting effect. And here you can already see how I made a little cloud there. So the white parts are going to be in front of the building, but I'm not erasing the windows from there. So it's all going to be a little not so realistic. Oh, look at this. This is a dog's hair caught in the paint. For the cloud shadows, I'm using a Payne's gray because that's a little bluish, because the whole print is also a little bluish somehow. Here you can see how I'm working on the clouds a little closer. I'm having quite a bit of orange there, and I think that was a very light copper actually, the original paint. I had a light copper and an orangey metallic paint, I think. So I'm trying to make the background darker with orange, but later I'll add some red to it because it's not dark enough to get distinguished from the buildings, if that is even a sentence. Here I'm coming in with the red. The areas that appear beige, I'm darkening with a walnut brown, but I have to take care because a lot of that, what seems to be beige, also has a little gold shine to it, a little shimmer, and I don't want to destroy that. So I'm going easy on that. Some red again. And some more clouds with a Payne's gray. And while I'm doing this, I have to say sorry for all the hassle in the last video that we had with the AI dubbing. And that's so terrible. It happened to me as a viewer too. And first I didn't know, but you can turn it off in the settings. It is possible that in the settings it says English or German, and actually then you have to click on German to make it go away, because somehow this is, yeah, it says German, but it's the original track, and I always speak in English. So, but I'll try to, from my side, to eliminate that problem, and I think it works. I tried to complain to YouTube, but that didn't work at all. The complaining process is way too difficult for me. Anyway, I hope it works now. If it doesn't, please leave a comment again. Very nice of all of you to tell me and to keep working on that. Thanks. So now I'm repeating that process on the right side by sketching the outlines with a pencil. And I just think it's so amazing how the colors go with the shapes of the buildings. You can call this a coincidence. It happens to me often, these little things that just the paint is showing me what it wants to do or how it wants to be changed or outlined or whatever. I'm sure you have a lot of these left over rolling out the brayer. Pick up some of them and see if you can find a city landscape or some other landscape in it and do this. And I love stenciling. You know, some people, they would rather draw these buildings, but I don't like to draw buildings. I don't know why. So also the effect of the stencil is just something I always like a lot. And it's so subtle now because I use the distress oxide stamps boxes. What are they called? Whatever, distress oxide pads. I think they're called pads. And you can see that the paint layers are so thick in some places, it's actually a little hard to draw on them with a pencil. Some pieces even still fell off the paper. And here you can watch again how I erased the outline after I made the background darker. So this little building you see here, this is the only one that's gonna have a shadow cast on the building behind it. Some brown in the beige gold areas. And getting rid of the hard outline there. Also, I'm putting just a tiny bit of orange colors in other areas there, just so that the one on the top left is not the only space with orange, but very lightly. And here I'm creating the only cast shadow of a building. So this is what it looks like now. And I am a little dissatisfied with basically with the darker areas on the left because it's only around the building and I have to make a larger area darker. And I didn't film it, sorry, but this is how it ended up. And I'm quite satisfied having done something here with just some residue of paints on the gel plate that I was about to wipe off. And then I had this idea. So I hope this inspires you to get out your old sheets that you saved for collage or something, and maybe you can see something in them. That was fun today. I hope to see you next week. Bye.